So the four things that we need to do to our company profile here is first we want to go in and we want to change the formatting of these side headings. Right now, if you follow the directions, they should all be just size 12, just plain font. We're going to make two simple changes to it. Number one, we're going to make them size 14. Number two, we're going to make them bold. Now this gives you an opportunity to use a cool tool over here called the Format Painter, and Google Docs has the same thing. It doesn't look like a paintbrush. Google Docs looks like a paint roller. But what that does is instead of copying the text like a normal copy would do, it copies just the format, just the way it looks. So if there's some format you know you're going to do over and over and over again, rather than me having to continuously do size 14 and bold, what I can do is format this one, and then I select it, and it doesn't matter how much of it I select. I can select one letter, and I do Format Painter. And now, if you notice, my cursor turns into like a little paintbrush. And when I click and the next thing I select, it will take on that same formatting. And then since I'm already selected, I'm going to click on Format Painter again, click, drag, it does that again, click, drag, and you can see that's a lot faster. Now, there is also a way, if I double click on Format Painter, it locks me into the formatting, so I don't have to continuously reselect the format. And now I just very quickly did that format. I double click on Format Painter and it unlocks me out of Format Painter. I get my normal cursor. It's easy to mess up if you don't pay attention to what your cursor looks like. But again, it's that little paintbrush looking thing. The next thing I want to do is I want to make sure this fits on one page. So if you followed the directions exactly, you might actually find that you have a little bit too much space. So I'm purposely adding this in because it told you to enter twice after these page lines or these horizontal borders, which looks good, but sometimes it pushes you onto the second page. And we want this to be a single page, pretty concise look. The easiest way to do that is to go up here, turn on your show hides. That way I can see how many times I press enter. And I'm going to go and delete and enter here, here, here. These ones are centered, but it doesn't matter because they're invisible. And make it so that these match. That also makes me fit onto one page. I want to find the right combination of having enough open space or blank space so it's easy to read, but also it fits onto one page. So that's my second task, is adjusting how many enters I had so it forces it onto one page. Some of you guys, that's not a problem. Some of you, you do need to do that because you typed a lot of information in here, which is awesome. The third thing I want to do is I want to add a page border. And to do that, I go to the Design tab, and I go over here to the right side, and I do Page Border. One thing about page colors, a lot of people like to add a page color. It doesn't print out, so it doesn't matter if you add that. But a page border allows you to choose a bunch of different types of borders. The simplest is a box. It allows you to change what color it is, but since this prints out in black and white, I would just leave it black. The width, it defaults to a smaller width. You usually want to do 2 1/4, maybe 3, so that it actually shows up, and then decide where you want it to show up. I want it to be on this whole document. I click OK, and now I have kind of a nice clean page border that was on the demo that you guys saw. The final thing I want to do here, and this is probably the most technical, is I want to adjust this tab. So when we set our tabs, way back at the very beginning, we set a 1/2 inch left tab, which I have my ruler here. And if you don't have your ruler showing, you need to go to View, check mark ruler. That makes that ruler appear. Okay. And I can see when I click down here where those tabs were used, I'm going to select just this area where the tab was used. Nothing else, nothing extra. And what I can do is I can take this little tab stop, looks like a backwards L, and drag it. And you can see how everything that used that tab drags along with it. And I'm going to put it at 3.5, maybe 3.75. If you know how to read a ruler, that's right at the right spot. 3 3/3 inch. And it makes it look a little bit better spaced out, a little cleaner, I think, a little more open space. I'm going to do the same thing here to the hours. I'm going to, again, select only the areas I did the hours in. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to look at my tab and say, you know what, I want it to drag over. And if you notice close, it has a little dotted line that helps you align it with other things. And now I'm done. This all fits on one page. Those are the main 4 steps. Now I'm ready to turn this in on Google Classroom. But remember, if you go to File, Save as Adobe PDF, it will convert this into a PDF that is easy to turn in on Google Classroom, and it makes it so that the formatting doesn't get messed up, because a lot of these things Google cannot translate. All right, so make sure that you are doing those 4 steps today, and then when you're ready to turn it in, convert it into a PDF.